does not exist in this dojo, does it? No, Sensei!
OMG, stay true to the fam. In the booth, you can't do what I can. Yeah, I live in the studio, man. In the summer or the winter, got the studio time. OMG, stay true to the fam. In the booth, you can't do what I can. Yeah, I live in the studio, man. In the summer or the winter.
Welcome to That's Your Opinion, Not Mine. My name is Tez.
I'm Chris. Hello. Hi.
Hi everyone. We're back. It's been a while.
Been a while. Been a traumatic time, but it's been a while. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been heartbreaking and traumatizing and lonely and.
Get the violin out.
Let's just get the violin out and just it's pressing and yeah. Anyway, moving on. So we've got something completely different this week. Completely different. It's all positive for once.
No, seriously?
Yeah. Well, I think so.
Good. No, it's going to be hopefully positive. We're going to be positive here. And what are we doing, Tez?
Well, we're going to be going over Cobra Kai, which I've been trying for the last 2 years to get you to watch it, and you finally watched it.
Yes, I was a bit skeptical in the beginning originally, and I said, "Yeah, Tez, we'll do the review." You know, this should have been done like ages ago.
Months
but
ago.
It's my fault because I said, "Yeah, I'll watch it." I watched the first 2 episodes. I was like, I don't know if I'm able to stomach this, but you know what? I was completely wrong. You know,
I told you so.
You did tell me so. And it was absolutely fantastic. So there you go. That's it. It was fantastic. But we're going to obviously go through a little bit more detail on Cobra Kai.
Share our thoughts, because you've pretty much been watched season 1 right through to 3 in the last week or so.
Yeah, I think I watched season 1 to 3 in about 4 days.
That's quite impressive.
I sat there and watched it all, and I was entrenched in it, and I loved it. But if I just went off the first couple of episodes, I wouldn't have watched it at all.
No, it's one of them where you have got to get past the first couple of episodes. Once they've introduced each character, then you're like, right, now I know who's who. Now I know what's going on. That's when it all starts to kick in.
And to be fair, this is not my usual cup of tea, so to speak. If we wasn't doing a review or you didn't nag me to watch it, then, and if it come up more on Netflix, I would not have watched it. There's no way. And you know what? And I would have missed out on it. And I'm glad I did watch it. Because first of all, I thought, oh, it's Americanized, whatever. But I was wrong.
Well, when I first heard about it, I thought, oh, great, it's another remake or but I was skeptical. But when I actually found out the original characters, I'm like, oh, maybe there might actually be hope in this. Maybe. Yeah, and I gave it a go, and I'm glad I did, because it's been absolutely fantastic. It's one of the best programs I think I've ever watched. And as you know, I hate remakes. I hate continuations. But this is just phenomenal.
Quiet!
I'm impressed. You said phenomenal. I'm joking. But yeah, I'm joking. It's just a little ongoing running joke, don't worry. But yeah, it was phenomenal. So we're going to obviously start on episode 1, season 1. It was the introduction of Johnny. And,
yes. And Miguel.
And Miguel, yeah. So, yeah, but what did you think initially?
Initially, I was like, okay, where are they going with this? I was keeping an open mind. I was still like, so what's actually going to happen? Because nothing really happened. But obviously I can see why they did it. But yeah, so the first few minutes, I'm like, okay, what's going on? And then I was getting more into it. I'm like, okay, where's this going? And then I can't remember if the second episode had already been uploaded by that point. I think it was. So I watched the second episode and I saw they were introducing Daniel, and then I'm like, okay, I can see where they're going. They're doing a very slow kind of introduction to make sure you know exactly who these people are, because if you've never watched The Karate Kid, you're not going to have a clue who these people are. So once you get over that, I thought it was really good the way they were done it. They were bringing in each character, and each episode kind of didn't focus on one particular character per se, but it introduced at least one character per episode in the first season.
Definitely. And Johnny, straight off the bat here, Johnny is my favorite character.
Are you losers?
No, Sensei!
Are you nerds?
No, Sensei!
Are you sure?
No, Sensei!
And I liked him from the get-go. It wasn't like, I just don't know why. I liked him from the get-go. And he made the whole thing, Johnny, like, very good actor,
Oh, he's absolutely brilliant.
You know,
It's just a shame that we'd never really got to see much more of him over here.
definitely. But yeah, the introduction of LaRusso, Daniel's son, all right? Yeah, listen, when I first see it, I was like, listen, mate, you know, a bit cheesy, a
Bit
bit of a
cocky.
wet let. Yeah, you're a bit of a wet lettuce. You need to liven up. But you know, once I realized, hold on a minute, it's the contrast, like, you know, of the balance, the two characters, you know, and then because it's a representation of the cut this out, this bit. What is it? Dojos. What is it called again? Yeah.
Dojos.
Dojo. Right. Okay. It's the contrast of the dojos. So it's obviously reflecting within their personality. You know, one's defense and peace and meditative, and
Yeah,
you
it's that
know,
whole yin and yang kind of thing.
yeah, it is. And but before I realized that, because sometimes I'm a bit slow off the old mark, I was like, you know, is he ever going to be like liven up? But then I realized, okay, you know, and then I thought his missus was a bit, you know,
Up
but then
herself.
yeah, but she actually was ballsy. She had more balls than him at some point, you know.
Yeah, because that was the other thing as well. When I first started watching, I'm like, what exactly is going on here? Because the characteristics of each character was like, who are these people? What's going on here?
Yeah,
But how they've managed to turn it around so you actually not feel sorry for Johnny, but you like Johnny, and then you think that Daniel's the arsehole. It's like,
yeah,
this is brilliant how they've done this.
it is, because you're back and forth, back and forth. We'll probably get on to Sensei Chris at some point, but
Yes.
that's another story for another day. But yeah, the relationship, you know, between Johnny and
Miguel.
Miguel was fantastic, you know.
Yeah, they've got a very good kind of best buddies, father-son kind of relationship.
Considering the strain of his own son, I think that dynamic worked really well.
Quiet!
Yeah, you didn't think, oh, you're a bit of a wrong 'un, mate. You're looking after, you know, you're building up this relationship with, and then, you know, your own son's out in the cold. But the dynamics worked, didn't it? The psychology of it all works well.
Yeah, and because they explained Johnny's history and why he is the way that he is, and they kind of explained how their relationship kind of broke apart, and that he's trying not to be an and he's trying to work through it. You kind of understood where he was coming from, but you could also see his son's side of it as well. So I think that's another reason they were very clever how they did it.
Yeah, and Johnny was stuck in the past as well a lot, you know, but before he, I think, came to the realization, you know, with the women and the drinking.
Light beer is for pussies.
And then he couldn't get past, you know, I think it really disturbed him, you know, all this stuff. And when he was explaining to Miguel about, you know, the kick and you actually see the other side of where Johnny was coming from, because in the original Karate Kid, you just see it as, you know, you're a wrong one, mate. You're just like really bullying him. But then you actually see, you know, the flip side of it. Actually, this is his perception of what it was. And when you see that, you think, wow, it makes sense. So it's not all one-sided. Like what the wife said, I think, when they were dining, there's your version, and there's the truth.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that was fantastic.
Quiet!
Yeah, because as well, for the first episode, I don't know if you know this, that footage that they showed you from the flashback with the kick, that was actually, I think the majority of that actually was original footage that was archived, that was never used for the film.
Ah, I didn't know that. That's excellent.
Yeah, I know. I think the one part that obviously wasn't where he was lying on the floor and the camera kind of did that. That one wasn't, but the actual kick, the slow-mo from a different angle, that was archive footage that they found.
That's excellent. You know, and the history of, and you know, going back to Johnny again, like you realize that he was brought up in a neglectful, rich household by his prick of a stepdad. He was a right horrible, wasn't he?
Yeah, I didn't like him at all. So
Very
it really,
seedy man.
it really added more to his backstory and why he was a douchebag.
Yeah, I was very impressed with the initial. Well, I wasn't. That's an absolute lie. I wasn't impressed. with the initial. I think when when I got to episode 4, that's when I really started appreciating it. To be honest,
Yeah, well, I can't remember exactly what episode is which, but
no.
again, the story, as the story progressed, I was liking it more and more and more. Then they
Mm,
started doing the fight scenes, and I was well impressed with what they
mm.
did with the fight scenes. I was like, wow, this is just, it was just great. I absolutely loved it. That was another thing that I thought was absolutely brilliant, how they choreographed it and put it all together.
Definitely, and the more the build up, shall we say? I don't know what I was going to say before. I don't know what I was saying there. So the build up of the characters from, you know, Hulk and all of them guys. Yeah. So but no, it was fantastic, and I really started getting involved with the dynamics and the curveballs they threw in there. You know, it was really really good. Yeah. So anything else that jumps out to you within
In the first
yeah,
season,
yeah.
I thought how they ended it was, I was annoyed at the time because obviously I wanted more, and obviously you saw Crease right at the end, so
Yes.
I was because it's like I want to see Crease, but from a writer's point of view and a filmmaker's point of view, they did brilliantly how they ended it.
Absolutely, and the introduction of Crease was great, you know, and I just got to see it like the next episode in 2 seconds, so I was quite
Yeah,
lucky, really.
you were lucky. I had to wait a year.
Really?
Yep, a year,
Wow. Like,
especially
yeah, right.
because the whole season again, he's dead, he's dead, he's dead, and then he appears out of freaking fresh air.
It was great, and I completely despised his character from the offset. I thought this guy's a proper wrong one initially.
Yeah, initially, that relationship has kind of jumped from side to side throughout the whole 3 seasons.
Very weird one, that one. You know, you feel sorry for him, then you like him again, then you feel sorry for him, then he does something good, you know. But I'm sure we'll get onto that at a later date with Chris. So we're just like, you know, this is how it's going to roll. Basically, we're going to we're literally doing the introduction, our first sort of initial thoughts, then we'll go more in as we go in as the weeks go on. So,
Yeah, no, I think that's a good idea. As we get more and more into it, we'll go over a bit more each character and storylines and whatnot, and really pick out things and where we think is going.
and we might bring in a guest or two to have their take on what they thought.
Yeah,
maybe.
because yeah, it'd be nice to bring more people in and see what everybody else thinks, and it's not just us that really likes the program.
Yeah. So that'd be good. We're going to have some special guests coming in speaking about Cobra Kai, so that should be interesting. Looking forward to that. So yeah, this is just our first initial thoughts of what, you know. Initially, like I said before, I was like, man, Ted's making me do this. Why is Ted's making me watch this? I have to. And you know what? I'm glad we was doing this review. But I said, right, I'm doing it for reviewing purposes. That's what I thought. Like I was some big film critic. I'm just a little geezer, you know, watching a series. And I was like, no, I need to do this for the sake of reviewing. And I was, first of all, I was forcing myself to watch it. I thought, right, okay, I'm going to force myself. I'm despised. I'm not happy. I'm just going to watch this. And then I was like, yeah, this is good. You know?
So I told you, because I hate remakes. I absolutely hate them. But this is good.
Yeah, I was very impressed. And, you know, it's great. The writing was good.
Yeah, they've managed to balance comedy and drama and fight sequences very well. Oh, that's another thing as well that I forgot, how they've managed to balance the new characters and the old characters. Nobody gets more time than the other. They've really balanced it, that it's kind of equal time that you see new and old.
Yeah, and we have to say it's such a shame, Mr. Miyagi, God bless his soul. Like, you know, he you know, it's a shame, and he wasn't alive to be a part of. Well, he was a part of it, but you know,
Yeah, to be
what I
part of
mean?
the series, because oh god,
That would
just
have been epic.
beyond epic if he was still alive. I can't even imagine what it would be like if he was still alive.
It would have been absolutely fantastic if it, you know, it would have been. It would have made it so. Even, you know, I know we're bumping on, but we're going to do this during this time. We're going to bump forward, move back, all over the place. But you know, even when they were talking about Mr. Miyagi, you know, when they were sitting on the porch in Japan and blah blah blah, that was very emotional, wasn't it? It's like you really homed in on that sense of Miyagi in that scene.
Yeah, and I was going to set up actually bring that up. Actually, that was quite an emotional scene. I think
Mm.
season 3 was definitely for me an emotional roller coaster. In every episode, I laughed, I cried,
Mm.
and I was like, "What the f-? In all episodes."
I actually, you know what, Des? I actually got emotional. Can you believe it? I actually was nearly. Well, I did have a tear roll down my face, and for me, you know, stone cold and all that. I'm not, but yeah, I was like, what the, you know?
Yeah, because even me, I'm like, "Why am I crying?"
I know it's like,
And I don't cry, so
yeah. So yeah, it did get me quite emotional as well, and I never would have imagined that would have happened. So it was absolutely fantastic, this series, and I'm looking forward. This is just a taster, just the intro, and we're gonna, you know, obviously explore more in the few weeks to come.
yeah. This time around, we're just basically saying we're now going to go on to Cobra Kai because we both think it's bloody awesome, and we really love the show.
You know, we've got this little tiny weeny platform, and we're gonna it's gonna be a platform of appreciation of Cobra Kai because it was really good, and it's all positive. You know, it's a positive. You know, it's about time we've done something positive in
There's-
our lives.
The
for
Karate Kid, even
once.
though it's just a film about, you know, well, there's more to the story than just karate, but that film, you know, I was quite young when I first saw it, and I still love that film. There's,
I went to the cinema to watch that when it came out.
I think it came out, was it the same year I was born or the year before? I can't remember. So I wasn't born when it came out, but when I did see it, I don't know, I just related to that film so much, and that film means a lot to me. I love that film.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's and you know, for the nostalgia factor, as you say, yeah, absolutely. You know, it's priceless. But yeah, it's just absolutely excellent, and bring on season 4.
I can't wait, but we'll be getting more into that as the weeks progress on what we think is going to happen.
Definitely. We've got twists and turns along the way, so yeah, it was really good overall, and well, we're going to get into more detail and the characters and the plot lines, storylines, and yeah. So we thought we'd just do an introductory of what's to come in the next few weeks, Says.
Yeah, and plus as we've been away for the last week or so.
Yeah.
So it's just to ease you back in.
Ease you back in gently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully it wasn't too painful. Hopefully.
Listen, we're taking it easy, and you know, we're getting there.
Tried to tear us down. Didn't work.
Yeah, thank you for watching. That's your opinion, not mine. We'll be back with a better review of Cobra Kai, more in-depth detail, and our thoughts and where we hope or where we think Cobra Kai is going to be going in the future.
Yep, and hopefully we might have a special guest for you.
Yes, and yeah, we'll be bringing on guests as well.
So yeah, until then, peace out. It's bye from me.
And it's bye from me.
Fear does not exist in this dojo, does it? No!
OMG, stay true to the fam. In the booth, you can't do what I can. Yeah, I live in the studio, man. In the summer or the winter, got the studio time. OMG, stay true to the fam. In the booth, you can't do what I can. Yeah, I live in the studio, man. In the summer or the winter.